All right, what's going on, guys? It's Devin, and I am back with the Prep Series, episode 2, and today we are talking about money. How much does it really cost to compete? So the last video we talked about how to find a coach. This video we're going to talk about the true cost of competing. A lot of people look at it and they think that you're just paying for your show fee and then maybe NPC, but a lot of people don't understand all of the other costs that go into it. I'm gonna break that down. So the first two things that you need to consider is picking out your show. All right, now show costs are going to range anywhere from usually $100 to $200, usually right around the $150 range. And within this video, I'm going to try to speak averages, right? So just figure that the prices I'm giving you are average. Could be more, could be a little bit less, but I'm going to give you the average. So number one is actually going to be your NPC registration. So in order to compete in the NPC, you need to register. You need to be a registered athlete. That registration fee generally costs you about $150. So that's the first and foremost. That gives you access to be able to participate within the shows that you select. So NPC is going to be number one. Number two is going to be your show entrance fee. Now, these prices, you'll notice for women, will climb quite a bit higher, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But your entrance fee is generally $150 per category. So if you are a male and you decide you want to compete in, let's say, novice or physique, and you also want to see maybe I might do well in classic physique, competing in those two classes, you're looking at $300. So $150 on average per class. Now for women, a lot of times they might want to get into bikini, they might want to get into figure, they might want to get into physique and see where they place the best. You can certainly do this, but just keep in mind that if you get into bikini, that's $150. You get into figure, that's $150. And you get into physique, that is $150. So it can add up quick just in those two things. So I highly recommend when you start competing, get a good idea of the class that you want to go in. Now, if it's your first show, it might not hurt to do something like a true novice and one other class, or if you're not sure if you want to do physique or classic physique, maybe try out both, talk to the judges, or just see kind of where you fall. But I would highly recommend having a conversation with your coach or just getting a very good idea of the class that you want to enter. Look at it online. Do some research. Are you okay with wearing board shorts? Are you okay with wearing a mankini? Are you okay with wearing tighter shorts for women? Do you want to put on a little bit more muscle? Are you okay with having a softer look? Now, these are going to be all of the different types of things you're going to want to consider before picking your category. All right. So number one, we have our NPC registration. Number two is we have our entry fee classification registration. Number three gets into your shorts, your suit, whatever you want to call it. So if it's men's physique, on average, men's physique shorts can range anywhere from $30 to about $60. You're going to find a good pair of shorts for about the $40 to $50 range. If you're doing classic physique, usually for your trunks, you're looking right around $40, $50. Same thing for your trunks for bodybuilding. Now, those prices can go up. Again, we're working on averages. So keep in mind, if this is your first competition, expect to spend about $50 for whatever it is that you're wearing on stage. Now for women, this is where it gets a little bit more expensive. You can buy a used suit, which I highly recommend. You can get a custom suit made, or you can buy a non-custom suit. However, your suits are going to range anywhere from about $200 to $400. And again, we're talking averages, so it could be quite a bit higher, could be a little bit lower. You're also going to need heels. Heels can be anywhere from $30 to $50. Jewelry, now it doesn't have to be expensive jewelry, but it is something that you're going to want to consider. So being presentable on stage, and then hair and makeup. And we're not talking basic hair and makeup. We are talking show quality hair and makeup, which can run you a couple $100s. So for women alone, for your suit, for your heels, and for your hair and makeup, expect to spend about $500, right? So we got our 500 plus our 300 for NPC and your class registration. For men, we have about 50 plus our 300. Right? So as you can see, things start to add up quick. Now, this is not to deter anybody. I just want to let you know what you're getting into before you get into it and realize I cannot afford this. The next thing that you're going to want to take a look at is, where is your show located? Are you going to have to travel? In which case, will you need a hotel room? And I'm going to tell you right now, if you have to drive further than an hour, it is best to get a hotel room, because you will be at that location between shows. You're going to need a place to rest. You're going to need a place to be there the night before, so you're not having to try and do everything last minute. If you're working on a budget and you're willing to drive an hour, 2 hours, then you can do that. But expect about $100 to $200 for a hotel room, depending on where you're staying and where you're located. Next, we have our food. And I'm not just talking food for the show, I'm talking your monthly food bill most likely will go up. You're going to need leaner cuts of meat. Most likely you're going to need more protein. Carbohydrates are one of the least expensive food sources, in my opinion, that you can buy, followed by fats, then proteins, right? So if you're eating 99% ground turkey, you're eating things like chicken breasts, 96% ground beef, whatever it looks like for you, most likely your food bill is going to go up a little bit. So I always say, figure to tack on about an extra $50 per grocery bill. Like for me, I go shopping weekly, and I see about a $25 increase in what I eat during prep versus the off season, if not a little bit more. So you figure $25 a week over 4 weeks, that's an additional $100 a month, right? So those little things add up. If you have a coach, depending on the price of your coach, that can be anywhere from about $100 up to $300 or $400, depending on if you're working with a coach that can help you with your posing, your eating, so your diet, as well as your training. If you just need somebody that can do one of those, then that might cut cost a little bit. I highly recommend hiring a posing coach if you have never done a show before. Even if you have done a show before, it's one of those things that's going to help you be your best at the time you hit the stage. Some coaches can help you with all of the above. They can help you with your diet, they can help you with your training, and they can help you with your posing. Some coaches strictly just want to do one of those three things, or maybe two of those three things. So for instance, they might be able to help you with your diet and training, but they don't offer coaching. So just keep that in mind. So that can go into the total of the entirety as well. So let's recap really quick. If you are looking at competing and you have never done it before, you're going to need your NPC registration. You're going to need to register for your class for the show. You're going to need your suit for women, hair and makeup, along with jewelry and heels. And you're going to need to look at rooms, so travel and lodging, and then expect your food bill and your coaching bill to go up. The last thing is your tan, and you do not want to step on stage with a bad tan. A bad tan will ruin a good physique. So make sure that if you are tanning the day of the show or before, a lot of times the shows will provide a company to come in and do the tanning. You're usually about $50 to $80 for your tan. I have somebody local that I generally go with. I will tan the day before the show, and the tan she uses is just as good of quality as what they use at the shows. And so by the time it's show day, it actually sets in and darkens over about 24 hours. She usually is right around the $50 range. So keep that in mind. Tanning is going to be another one. Now they make some rub-on tans and spray-on tans and those types of things, but again, the last thing you want to do is work your butt off for 16, 18, 20 weeks and then get a bad tan and have a terrible placing because the tan washed you out, it wasn't dark enough, or it's splotchy, or it's running, whatever it is. So these are just some things to keep in mind as we continue going through these series. Again, I'm going to show you guys some of what I'm eating. I'm going to show you some of the workouts. We'll get to that, but I really just want to educate with this series. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Take it, pass it along if you know anybody that's competing, and I will catch you guys next time.